Hey folks, welcome to another episode of Gamer Logic. I'm Mike Mertes, and today Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker has been released. What you're looking at here is actually the collector's edition of Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. This version retails for $49.99. Now, of course, like any collector's edition or special edition, you're asking yourself, is it really worth the extra $10 to get it? Well, it does come in a pretty nice collector's box. It's a nice little standing one, not as big as the gigantic BioShock special edition, but decent size for a PSP nonetheless. I actually thought it was a strategy guide when I first looked at it. It of course has the collector's box, the game, which is very necessary, and it comes with a limited edition art book. So I'm sure a lot of people are thinking right now, okay, not worth it for the $10. I actually really like the art style in this game with Ashley Wood and even the character design by some of the other artists, and I think it actually looks pretty good. I think it's worth it. I'm a big Metal Gear fan, but special editions isn't always everybody's cup of tea. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the review for Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. Enjoy, guys, and be sure to comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Here we go. Metal Gear returns to the PSP, but this time it's fully backed and designed by famed Metal Gear designer Kojima. Peace Walker takes place a few years after the events of Metal Gear Solid 3, and as such, Snake has earned the nickname Big Boss. Snake has left the United States to form his own mercenary group called Soldiers Without Borders, and all seems to be going well. However, not too long after, Snake again is called into battle and is forced to reclaim Costa Rica from an army that is forcing the local rebel armies out and using the country for their own means. Who are these people exactly? I don't want to spoil it for you because it turns out to be pretty interesting. But as you can see, the game itself actually has a great storyline presentation. Again, the artwork is done by Ashley Wood, who has done games for the Metal Gear Solid series in the past, as well as artwork for the actual Metal Gear comics. Great stuff. The interesting thing about this game is that some of the actual cutscenes are interactive, which makes it a little interesting. I guess a lot of people complained about the cutscenes in Portable Ops being a little boring. I don't really understand why, but to each their own. Anyways, the art style in this is awesome. They're very well animated, and the fact that there's interaction added to it just makes it that much more fun. There's also a couple different storyline instances that you can have during the actual cutscenes themselves. As you can see, Snake is about to blast this little droid-like thing, and you can either choose to shoot the main mother ship that's floating around, or you can shoot the droid itself. The outcome will be slightly different, but the overall final outcome will probably be about the same. I haven't completely played through everything yet as far as the cutscenes go, so I don't know if there's a drastic change to the storyline with this, but it's pretty interesting nonetheless. The Mother Base is a brand new gameplay mechanic that has never been seen in the Metal Gear series before. The Mother Base is Snake's main base of operation and provides a variety of functions that can both help and hinder Snake if he isn't careful. First, the weapon and item design area, where Snake's research and development team can design new weapons and items and even food. Then there's the mess hall team that provides you and your troops food and can work in conjunction with the research and development team to design different types of food. I'll discuss what I mean by troops shortly. There's also a medical, intel, and combat teams that can be used in a variety of ways. The combat team is obviously used for combat, the medical team is used to heal the wounded, and the intel team can provide you further information about your missions. You can earn even more soldiers in the game by essentially kidnapping them. You use a portable balloon system to transfer knocked out or surrender soldiers to your base. Each soldier has a different characteristic to them, which may be suited for a certain team at Mother Base. You can also use these soldiers in your main combat team to provide support with side missions when Snake isn't available. The more soldiers you have, the more you need to feed them and to keep them happy. But you need them to provide you with new items, so you have to keep them happy, and you have to have a plentiful number of them. A happy base makes a happy Snake, and an unhappy base will make your mission a living hell if you don't have the items to defeat your enemy. The core of any Metal Gear game is its playability, and I'm happy to report that Peace Walker is by far the most playable Metal Gear game on PSP, hands down. I wasn't a big fan of Portable Ops as I thought the control and other elements of the game were quite frustrating. So with that being said, Peace Walker is very easy to control. You use the left shoulder button to aim, the right shoulder button to fire, and the D-pad provides a few functions as well. The left arrow opens up your items menu, the right opens your weapons menu, up reloads your weapons, and down will bring you to a crouch or to lay prone. You cannot crawl in this game, which may disappoint some fans, but you get used to it right away.
The right side buttons control camera, and it controls it pretty well for the most part. Overall, the controls are streamlined enough to make it an enjoyable experience on the PSP for a Metal Gear game. The sound effects and music are very well done in this game, if you choose to install the expanded effects. You put the expanded effects onto your memory card at the beginning of the game. The install can take about 10 to 15 minutes, but it's worth it to get the maximum enjoyment out of the game. It's not required if you don't have the space or if you don't want it. The install size is about 900 megs. With it though, you get all the trademark Metal Gear sounds. With as long as Metal Gear has been around, I really don't think I need to go into too much detail about how you play the game. Just in case though, it's a game about stealth, doing things quietly, and shooting and blowing up stuff only when you absolutely have to. Peace Walker easily brings what every other Metal Gear game has had and ports it over to the PSP without an issue. In my opinion, it's an essential game if you're a fan of the series, and I highly recommend picking it up. Metal Gear Peace Walker gets a 5 out of 5. If someone were to ask me what game for the PSP is a system seller, I could easily tell you that it's Metal Gear Peace Walker. Kojima has captured every needed element from the Metal Gear series to make a great PSP game. Pick this one up. Folks, this was another episode of Gamer Logic. I'm Mike Mertes. I hope you enjoyed this review. Make sure you comment, subscribe, and spread the word so we can make sure that more fans know about this great game. Peace.